Joe from Pacific Radio. You're listening to Rocket Night. Keep listening.
Yeah. Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. Not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down, if you feel up good. Get on down.
Hi everyone, this is Sandra from Rocket Night, and I have the pleasure of having Joe Robinson from the band Pacific Radio. Hey Joe, how's it going?
It's doing real well. It's a beautiful morning in Southern California. Can't complain.
That's awesome. And you guys have a very special day coming up on December 8th. And what is that?
It's a big day. Our debut album comes out.
That is awesome.
It's our first collection of 12 banging rock and roll songs. It's a burner. Let me tell you that.
Now, I appreciate you guys sending me ahead of time a copy of all the songs in the album. And I cannot express how much I fell in love with every single song.
Oh, you're making me feel good over here.
There's just like some bands where, okay, one or two songs is okay. You know, it's like you buy an album and it's just two songs that you like. But this album, the first song, I didn't hear it. I saw the video of it, and it was Kitchen Table.
Nice.
And I was like, wow. I'm like, you had me at the music, you had me at the Speedo or whatever you were wearing, and you had me at that.
Yeah,
the 70s.
It's a robe and it's a robe and a Speedo. It's a casual look.
And I have to say, the 70s porno mustache, which I love.
It's a bold choice and a beautiful thing, but I'm running with it, you know?
You guys, the video itself is amazing. What is that song about?
It's like most of the album. It's being wronged by a girl, you know. It's like it's kind of a jaded. It was a jaded time in my life where I'm like, yeah, you know, that's not going to work on me. It might work on every other, you know. And then you go. It might work on a chump, but it's not going to work on this fella.
Now, did she really?
You know?
Did she really throw your recorder out the window?
That was a true story of a friend of mine. And I was like, I'm going to put that in a song someday. We were picking him up from his apartment over in Silver Lake, and he was picking up his stereo in the yard. And he was like, my girlfriend's going crazy. Let's get out of here. And we helped him pick it up and kind of put the garbage over the side. I'm like, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to say how much the tape deck meant to me. And not you.
That's what I love. And at the
like,
end of the song,
it really hurt when you threw it out of the window, but I really missed the tape deck.
But you got a new one, right?
Yeah, it's a zinger. I threw a zinger at the gal.
And I love the end of the video where the girl is sitting there and she's like, for the young kids who don't know what tape cassettes are, when she's at the end of the video just throwing the tape. It's awesome video.
I appreciate that.
The style of your music, you guys, I read somewhere, someone compared you to Weezer and early Foo Fighters, which I kind of think it's unfair because I think you guys are just your own unique sound, and that's what I love about your music, because I was like, wow, you know, it's very rare for me to enjoy an album and like every single song. In this one, I'm like, it's stuck in my head. Kitchen Table stuck in my head. Katie, I love. I love the song Katie. That's another. It's a sweet. Is that a sweet song? Is that a true love song?
There are a lot of Katies. bit specific, I guess. Yeah, I'm not naming names, but it's, yeah, I mean, everybody gets torn up, you know, and everybody sees the reality that, like, wow, there's this prize at the end that I'll never get the prize, and then you just admire the prize from a distance, you know.
Yeah, yeah, especially today. I don't know, chicks are crazy. I'm a girl. I'm gonna say
chicks are crazy.
Chicks
hey,
are
I wasn't gonna go there. I wasn't
admit
gonna do that.
I admit it. I have my crazy times. It must be a hormonal thing, but yes, we get crazy. We throw shit. I'm known to throw stuff. It's just like when I heard the song, I don't know what it is.
Right?
I don't know.
Finally, we get the girl that. Yeah, I'm crazy as shit. All right. Yeah, we all are. I just put it in song.
And your songs are, even though your songs are about love and it could be good love, bad love, they're all fun. And it kind of tells people, oh, it's okay to be in love. It's okay to hurt. But life goes on. Move on. Let's have fun. And that's what
I'm gonna. For someone who hasn't heard us and listening to this, it sounds like a bunch of ballads by NSYNC or something.
Oh,
it's not. It's not. It's love with a 6-pack of Coors Light tall boys.
Exactly.
And a really fast car. You know, it's like it's love in a party at the same time.
Exactly.
You know, it's like everybody can have their hand in the air singing along to a song and go like, shit, man, I felt like that too one time. You know.
Exactly.
But you know, let's dance to the rock and roll and enjoy it, you know?
You know, and I hate the songs where guys just like, oh my God, I miss her. And it's like, I don't want to sit here and cry today. I don't feel like crying today. I want to hear a song like Kitchen Table where I just want to, like, you know, I'm pissed off and I'm happy that things go on. Things move on.
Yeah, you want a curveball.
Yeah.
In a song. Like, you want to be like, yeah, man, this sucks and everything sucks. But then at the end, you're like, I kind of feel bad. You know, it's like your comparison to, or your anti-comparison to Foo Fighters and Weezer.
Yes.
That's kind of when you have like a melodic rock and roll song with guitars, bass, and drums banging out music, and you got a melody, a good melody, and it's really easy to, for an audience now to throw out the big guns like which I'm flattered by.
Yeah.
The Weezer and the Foo Fighters and whatnot. That's huge, and I love it.
Yeah,
But I mean, a lot of audiences now don't even know anything except the Foo Fighters and Weezer to compare it to because they're bombarded, they're overloaded with you know, like synthesized track pop music where the themes are big and the stars are with us tonight, you know, and it's like this overwhelming, positive, inspirational poster on your bedroom wall when you're 12. You know, it's like, hang in there, man. We're gonna do. Yeah, it's not like that, but we're banging out rock and roll songs, and you know.
Yeah, and
everyone's had a girl wake up in their high heels. You know? and I write a song about it. You know, you went out a little hard last night. You woke up in your high heels. That's a high five and you know, watch yourself because that might catch up.
Now, what I found extremely interesting about your music is you guys have like this great talent with changing the tempo, like the song Weekend. It starts out with it's a pure fun rock and roll song, and then all of a sudden you change the tempo and it just changes to a different rhythm, and then it goes back. And I think that is so hard to do in music without sounding corny, but you guys just like are like dead on with everything. With almost all your songs have that, and I'm just amazed.
Yeah. We try to mix it up. We try to keep a listener. You know, the attention span of a listener is shrinking and shrinking by the minute. So you got to keep people interested, and that's a huge way to do it. And that goes way back to the early days of rock and roll. Break it down, man. Break it down, and it's fun to play with and see what works and throw in a different tempo. Like in Whiskey, we swing it in the middle, and it goes into this weird.
Yes.
In Whiskey Girl, I'm sorry, and it goes into this weird like. Yes. guitars and then right back into dun, 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 you know, it's like,
Yes.
it's fun to experiment with that with the band and sitting around and like throwing ideas in on how we can do that. But then you can't have that too long. You got to get back into the good. You know, it's like take a left turn, punch him on the right. You know, it's jab, jab, swerve.
Yeah, you're.
Uppercut, bye.
I find myself. I just heard about. I'll be honest. I just heard about you guys a few days ago. So for the past 3 days, I've been on a crash course of just your music and learning everything that I can about you guys. And I have the songs going through my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so infectious. It's like I can't get them out of my head, and it's just, and that's good. And then it's.
I appreciate that. It means a lot.
For someone who listens to a lot of bands and sees a lot of bands out there, when you have a band that just sticks to your head and you can get them out of your head, that's an awesome sign. And you know, you guys are just. I think you guys are in a good. You guys are going to make it big.
Oh, yeah.
You guys will.
Sounds good to me. I like that. Can you tell everybody?
Everyone, please listen to Pacific Radio because these guys are amazing. I'm not just saying it. It's very rare for me to like an entire album, but every single song is just, it's awesome, and everyone has to listen to it. And I know you guys are mostly popular on the West Coast, but the East Coast, I'm sure you guys will eventually. Yeah, when are you guys coming? Are you guys ever coming to the East Coast?
Man, we've been building this album, and we recorded it ourselves with this guy named Eric Weaver, who's insanely creative and a task man, and he's a great guy.
Yes, he was.
But,
he was nominated. Was he nominated for a Grammy?
A Grammy, yeah. Yeah, for which is you know, and he's stuck with us. He's like he believes in us as much as we do, and he's like a fifth member at this point. He's great, man. But like the detail in the room with Eric Weaver there is insane. Like I wanted to junk up a guitar sound one time. This is just a little story. I'm going to go off on the Eric Weaver because we appreciate him so much, so damn much.
Sure.
So I wanted to junk up a guitar sound. It sounded too clean to me. And I was like, how can we do this? And I noticed a boombox, an old 80s boombox in the corner of the studio. And I was like, is there any way we could get a guitar in there? Weaver was like, absolutely, let's do it. And we pulled out the boombox and we plugged the guitar through the boombox and cranked it so the speakers were blaring. And he mic'd it up. And I was like, all right, we're ready to go. He's like, no, we got to get 2 mics on each speaker. You know, because one speaker might have a different frequency of shittiness than the other one, and we got to figure out which one we like best, or blend them both. I'm like, you are insane, but let's do it, man. It's like what level of junkiness, and how do we mix the stereo boombox speakers? I that never crosses my mind, but to him, he comes from that background where like every little thing's gonna count in the end, so we got to do it now. It's great. But onto the West Coast, or onto the East Coast, we've been waiting for this album to come out, you know? Okay. And we're finally done. And like a year ago, we thought we were finished in a few months. And we were like, let's wait for the album until we do a big push. Let's wait for the album, because, you know, you need something in your hand to be like, as antiquated as CDs are, it's important to have at least something people can go online to and be like, album. So we wanted to get this first one out of the way, and now I think we're going to fire off a lot of miles on the band and get it out there.
Yeah, and
we're gonna go old. We're gonna go old school. We're incorporating the the viral online push and all that stuff. But we really think that with our style and our brand of music, it's good to get out there because our live show is incredible too.
I
cannot. Not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but we surprise a lot of people that come to our shows.
As soon as I know you guys are coming to the East Coast, I'm there. And if you ever want to start somewhere in the East, Philadelphia, I'm not just saying that because I'm the Philadelphia correspondent, but Philly, when it comes to music, they're extremely open-minded. And Philly has started the careers of a lot of bands. So Philadelphia is a place to be. And you guys need to come to Philly, and I'll be there.
Hey, we're insanely open to everything. You know, it's just about putting something together at this point. And there's been so much work at the end of this album that right now this is the last 2 weeks were kind of going a little crazy, and our heads going, we don't have things to do every day. And I think tour planning is the next step in it. But Philly, here we come.
Yeah, Philly. You need to come to Philly. You guys, I know you guys love doing small shows, but you guys also did an incredible show called Bottle Rock Festival in Napa. And
we did Bottle Rock, yeah, it was great.
The lineup was amazing, and you guys, there's another band there that I enjoy a lot, and they're also from California, the Shelters. But the Shelters, yeah, they're another great band. But Tom Petty, I mean, were you guys there on Saturday when Tom Petty performed?
Oh yeah, yeah, we were there all weekend.
You were there all weekend. That must have been, because that was back in September, and was it in May? Back in May. Wow.
Yeah, and then we were like literally the only unsigned band there. We got in on a lot of hard work and getting at the right people at the right time, and living in LA and having connections, and our guitar players from Napa, where the festival was held. And we just worked real hard and got it. And that was incredible. That was insane to us. But then we found out, like, the other bands and the Foo Fighters and Modest Mouse and Warren G. What?
Yeah, and the Roots.
We played the same stage as Warren G.
Yeah, and the Roots. The Roots are from Philly. That's a Philly band. And I was like, oh, yeah.
The Roots are incredible.
Love them. I mean, I was like, wow. But, yeah, you guys, and I guess your video, I was watching your video, Camaro, and you guys have some, is that a clip? You guys, I guess, have some clips from...
Yeah, that's a Bottle Rock clip. That was our tour up to Bottle Rock. We did shows on the way and on the way back and around there. And then we did a second the West Coast, I'm sorry, you got me thrown off at the East Coast. We did a second tour up to Seattle and back.
Okay.
A few months back, and it's kind of just little clips from here and there on the road. But the main thing was that Bottle Rock. That was great. We went out and like, so we didn't have the greatest time slot, but we were by there are 3 stages, 2 mains, and then one, like the biggest stage I've ever played, a small stage to, say, the Dave Grohls of the world. But, it's a festival stage. And we started out with literally 100 people watching the band before us.
Wow.
And by the end of it, we had someone that does festivals was like, you had like 1,300 people watching you. Because as people were walking in the festival, we were playing. And people just started flocking. And other bands were playing on the main stages too. And we weren't like the only band to see, but people were like interested in what was going on with this little band on this that they've never seen or heard about. And it was great. I'm very flattered by the outcome from Bottle Rock.
Are you a Tom Petty fan? Do you like Tom Petty?
I like Tom Petty a whole lot. I'm a songwriter. How can a songwriter not like Tom Petty?
Yes, he's amazing, and I guess for you guys to be on the same bill, on the same show where he was performing, that must be the most incredible feeling in the world.
Yeah, it really was. And then, the tragedy this year, and
that was such a bad day. I remember it was October 2nd, and it was such a bad day. I had surgery that day, and then after my surgery, I was reading the news, and it was like, Tom Petty passed. I was like, what? I was in the hospital crying, and I did cover Tom Petty, and I was like, here I am after surgery. I'm trying to write to my editor. I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to, put the pictures that I took of him up on our website. It was just a crazy day, and as you said, as a songwriter, he's just amazing. And
and the little details, they had that documentary come out about him. It was a monster of a documentary. I think it was on Netflix, but all the little details of what he's done for not just his own songwriter and his own bands, but the community around him.
Exactly. Yeah.
like the industry and fellow writers, and how it just helps them, and he's this positive push in everybody's life. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah, he was one of the good guys out there. And speaking of
Mhm.
songwriters, who does most of the songwriting in your band?
Me. Yeah, I basically record the demos. So I get an idea, and then I'll sit around my house and then like plunk it out on guitars and get the melodies and the words, and then bring it into the band. And if it's exciting to them, we'll move on from there, and everybody will incorporate their additions to it. You know, and it's a cool process because, you know, if it's junk, we don't do it. If everybody's not into it, you know.
And everyone is so talented, and you're only as strong as your weakest player. That's how I see it. And every single person in your band is so strong with everything that they do. Do you mind going around and giving us the names of your band members so that everyone out there gets to know them?
Yeah. Well, Joe Styler is on bass, and I've been with him for years and years. I was in a band prior to this band with him, a punk rock band around Los Angeles.
Okay.
And when that collapsed, me and him just started like recording the demos. I was learning to record the demos, and we were like, let's try this, you know, maybe. But I was never a singer before this band, so with his push. We kind of started developing this thing. People were like, you got to do this. You know, a few songs later, they're like, why don't you get out and play this? So that's kind of how the band started. And then we recorded a demo with this guy named Kyle. And we were a three-piece, guitar, bass, and drums. And I was playing guitar and singing all the parts. And I was like, there's a lot of guitar parts. And I can't be hitting pedals and singing and be interesting on stage the whole time and be doing all this stuff. We probably need another guitar player. And we asked Kyle, the guy recording us, and now he's our guitar player, and he's great. It was just a fluke in the system. We were like, Kyle, would you be interested in playing the guitar in our band? Because he was already playing in this other band.
Yeah.
Now, this is a complicated web I'm weaving, but our drummer at the time left the band. So Kyle, in the other band that he was in, was like, this drummer's amazing. He sight reads music. He plays with orchestras, and he's a hard-hitting rock and roll drummer. And we were like, let's try him out. And then he became our drummer, and that's Hike. Wow. And that's the band. That's how it evolved.
Yeah, it's all about chemistry. I don't think people realize how hard it is to have a successful band, and I think you guys are an extremely successful band. And it's all about chemistry, and it's a very hard thing to do. It's like, I hear, I have kids, they're in band, they play music. I've seen some shows, but I don't think people really understand how hard it is to be a really good band. And I think you guys are right there. And I also find it interesting about your style, your sense of style. And I'm looking at the videos, and everyone seems to be so different. Like you have a different sense of style than the drummer. What kind of style?
Yeah.
What is your style?
It is, and we all, it's just cool. We're just like a cool group of dudes that happen to be really good musicians and can put on a good show, and that's a good combination for rock and roll,
Now, how did you know? At what point did you know you wanted to be in a band?
Me personally, I've been in band since high school.
So.
And then I moved from Minnesota to Los Angeles, and I was going through a Craigslist ad, and I wasn't going to play music out here, but I went in and played with this group who was looking for a guitar player, and we were like, let's go for it. And then that turned into something. And then during that whole process, I had been writing, like my own songs, like Kitchen Table. That was written way before the band started, and I'd been playing that on like an acoustic guitar for, drunk people around a fire. And then that was like a song I just wrote, and I didn't think I would do anything with it because I never thought I'd be in that position in a band to be doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that band took off, and then everything just evolved into what it is right now, and you know, it becomes an addiction almost.
Yes.
The music thing and the people you meet and being on stage, being in the studio and the creative process in the studio is so interesting. And so it's such a good environment to just.
It is. It's good vibe. Music for me is always good. Whenever there's good music and you have, you know, good friends, good musicians, it's a release of everyday stress.
Yeah, and we're all good, working, driven, hard-working dudes who are like there's not a bad egg in the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
and you can tell, you can see it.
Everybody contributes their shit and gets shit done, and let's do what we have to do, and it's great.
And it's very obvious because it's fun. Your music is just fun, and I can tell you guys, just by the sound and even the videos, it's more than a band. It's a family. It's a friendship, and it's fun. It's a fun time, and I can tell you guys really enjoy being Pacific Radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now with all these amazing musicians that we've lost in the past few years, if you were to add one more member of one of the amazing musicians we've recently lost, who would it be?
Good question. This is a good one. This is a good one. And we already mentioned Tom Petty. Tom Petty'd be my go-to.
Your Tom, wow. He was my...
But as far as like style, you got to go with Bowie and Prince.
Which Bowie? 70s Bowie, 80s Bowie, 90s Bowie?
Let's go Stardust.
Because it's so funny. I grew up in the 80s, so my Bowie is 80s Bowie. So when I hear people talking about Stardust Bowie, I'm like, who?
Who's that guy? Yeah. He evolved, he changed, but he was always a piece of himself in that cool David Bowie, you know.
So you would have Tom Petty as a... Oh yeah, that's a...
All right.
Tom Petty would be your songwriter, singer, bass player.
Songwriter would be... Songwriter? Okay. I got it now. All right. So in the studio and hanging out and going to happy hour would be Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
When planning a live show, I'd go David Bowie.
David Bowie.
But wait, there's one more. Style and attitude, I'd bring Prince in. So I got 3 going on.
So you have 3. Nice.
I got 3. And then all 4 of us would go see Johnny Cash at the end of the day.
I love it. You know, and with your style, it would totally work because you guys are just... They would love you too. I'm sure David Bowie's looking down and saying, damn, this band rocks.
That mustache, man. That mustache.
It's that mustache. You gotta love the mustache. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I love it. I'm a child from the 80s. It just reminds me of Magnum P.I. And it's just like 70s, like I said, 70s porn. It's awesome. You guys are amazing.
It's a sexy decision, I think.
It's sexy. It's a sexy decision. Well, so where can we all get a copy of your album when it comes out on December 8th?
Yeah, right now you can pre-order it from our website and iTunes. We'll get it we're releasing it on iTunes.
Now, are you
and yes?
Are you guys doing a vinyl album too, or just?
We're debating that right now.
Oh.
It's leaning towards yes on that.
But
we're going to start with. I mean, people want something tangible. You know, they want something they can have in their hands. And CDs are good for touring and like a family member an uncle who has a CD player.
Right.
But everyone else is doing Spotify and downloading from from iTunes and Apple Music and whatnot.
I'm old-fashioned.
All which will be available to anyone who wants to enjoy his music.
If you want to do vinyl, I'm old-fashioned. There's a few bands that have stuff on vinyl, and then they have the little thing inside where you can download to your computer. I still listen to vinyl. Yep. I listen to a record player. That's what I listen to most of the time. I listen to my records, and I
think that's fantastic.
It's what I grew up with, and I just love the sound of the needle, and the noise in the background, and the analog, and there's just something about it. And I think with your music, you guys kind of remind me of like 80s, 70ish, 80s, I guess. It would go great, and if you ever have it on vinyl, I'm buying it.
I literally had this discussion with the guitarist and the producer one day ago, and then we were like at a bar where all they had was vinyl, and they had a record player, and they had vinyl on the wall that people in the bar could pick out and listen to. We were like, we have to go vinyl. It's our first record.
Yeah, no, and
you're right. There's this weird nostalgia in the sound and the warmth of a vinyl and a needle, and it's cool, like the process of taking it out and looking at the album and the back of the album and seeing the people involved in making it, reading it while you listen to it, and that thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would definitely buy the vinyl. I mean, I'm old fashioned. And you can listen to it if you want to listen on the computer, or go on Spotify, I don't know, but vinyl is where I'm at. That's what I'm buying all my records. Everything that I have on CD, I'm rebuying on vinyl, because I just bought a record player, and I'm getting everything on vinyl.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll get one, absolutely. You're on the list.
I'm on the list. I want to. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, Joe. It was amazing talking to you. You guys are...
Well, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate that. I like that you like the album.
I love it. And, I can't express, everyone out there listening, please listen to Pacific Radio. And what is the name of the album again?
Pretty But Killing Me.
Oh, great title. What is that title? What is that title about? Pretty But Killing Me.
Well, there's a song on there called "L.A. is Pretty, but It's Killing Me."
But it's killing me.
But when mulling over the names for the album, we were just like everything in my life up to this point. It's the pretty things that'll kill you. It's like the excess, It's the girls, it's the drinking, it's the drugs, it's everything in rock and roll that looks appealing is going to kill you in the end. So why not go for it? It's like
anything in excess will kill you.
all the pretty things will get you, man.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for taking time and talking to Rock at Night. It was a pleasure.
Rock at Night, thank you.
And hopefully you'll come to the East Coast. Where our editor, she's based out of Florida. So if you go to Florida, I'm sure she'll go and check you guys out. If you come to Philly, I'll be there. And amazing album.
Sounds
Congratulations on your success. You guys are getting up there. And thank you so much.
That.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rock at Night.
Thank you.
You're listening to Rock at Night.